Sirens, the podcast where we deep dive into myths and legends from around the world. I'm Yenny.
And I'm Sarah, and today we're trying something a little new.
And we do mean little.
That's right. We are starting a mini-series.
Superstitions from around the world. What started as a fun little idea of exploring certain superstitions and old wives' tales quickly turned into a massive list of beliefs around the world that, honestly, we just can't fit into one episode.
There was no way. We tried, and we were like, people are just going to be zoning out. So, here is part one of however many parts it takes to cover as many superstitions and old wives' tales from around the world as possible. We will be scattering them in amongst all of our other regularly scheduled programming.
We have scheduled programming? Isn't that like TV stuff?
Now, most of these superstitions were submitted to us by our listeners, and we're so excited to get into the history of these beliefs. So, again, knowing that this is going to be a mini-series, if you have a superstition or an old wives' tale you want us to cover, let us know in the comments of our Instagram, our videos on YouTube, or in our public Discord, the link to which is going to be in the show notes.
It always is. It always is, guys.
It always is.
All right, well, Sarah, let's get started. You take the reins.
All right. So starting in the general area of North America, which as always has Germanic, English, French, European, and general influence, let's start with breaking a mirror brings 7 years of bad luck. Now, as already mentioned in our previous episode on mirrors, you should go back and listen to it if you haven't already, this superstition is around 2,000 years old and dates back to ancient Greece and ancient Rome, where it was believed the reflection of something held mysterious powers. For example, the Greeks believed a person's reflection in still water revealed their soul. Remember how last week we said vampires didn't have reflections because they didn't have souls? We're circling back.
Oh, yeah.
The Romans believed that the gods watched humanity through mirrors, and that breaking a mirror was an insult to the gods, and it would therefore earn their anger, and misfortune would befall the breaker of the mirror.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of misfortune in this episode. That seems like the common theme.
Isn't that kind of like the general rule of superstitions is to like avoid misfortune?
Speaking of which, let's talk about black cats being unlucky. Long ago in ancient Egypt, cats were worshipped.
And they haven't let us forget about it since.
Nope. But why is one variety of cat considered bad luck in modern culture? It's not fair. Poor meow meow.
It's not Oh, poor kitty.
In June 1233, Pope Gregory IX wrote a document called the Vox in Rama, in response to the suspected rise of cults and occult practices in Germany. Black cats were declared to be an incarnation of Satan.
That seems drastic.
As it was believed the Luciferians in Germany were using black cats as stand-ins for Satan himself in their worship ceremonies and whatnot. Their nocturnal habits, nighttime camouflage, and aloof personalities gave them an air of mystery, which gave way to an air of sinister intent. Which, I mean...
They're just hunting mice.
I know.
They're just hunting mice.
It doesn't matter whether the cat's black or orange or even a tabby. They are going to be nocturnal. They're cats.
There's a reason we lock our cat out of our bedroom at night. Because she's like, all right, it's playtime now. We're like, no.
So this led to, you guessed it, witch hunts. What was originally localized to Germany spread to the rest of Europe. And people began to suspect black cats to be the embodiment of a heretic, witch, or the devil himself. And don't ask me how many times I had to say heretic.
Again, I still think that's kind of drastic.
It is.
So, now for our next myth, walking under a ladder is bad luck. Now, honestly, this is kind of a practical superstition. First of all, if a ladder is up and someone is actively using it, there's a possibility of objects falling from overhead. You wouldn't want to be under a ladder when a bucket of paint or a set of pliers slips out of someone's hands. But there's also a supposed religious origin to this superstition. When leaning against a wall, a ladder forms a triangle, which was often considered to be symbolic of the Christian Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. walking under the ladder was tantamount to breaking the Trinity, and such a blasphemous act could potentially attract the attention of the
Not
devil.
the devil.
Not the devil!
Not the devil. Knocking on wood. Now,
This is one of my favorites,
Yeah.
honestly. I love this one because I say this all the time.
for sure, me too. Knock on wood or touching wood has been in American and European vernacular, respectively, since at least the 19th century. One supposed source of this habit comes from the ancient Celtic culture. The Celts believed the spirits of gods lived in the trees. Knocking on the tree was either a way to call the god's attention to the speaker so that favor could be granted, or
Okay.
it could have been a way to acknowledge and thank the god for a recent stroke of good fortune. On the flip side, some believe the
Of course.
superstition stems from an old pagan belief that it was not gods living in the trees, but ghosts and malicious spirits. Knocking on the tree was a way to distract the ghost from hearing you talk about your good fortune and prevent them from putting a curse on your good luck.
That's kind of like, to me, that I kind of picture like the whole like, la 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 la, I'm not listening.
yeah.
Like, that's kind of what I'm picturing. But now, for ghosts.
For ghosts. Still, other researchers believe this superstition may have just originated from a 19th century schoolyard game, where if kids touched a certain tree, they were safe from being caught in the game. Like home base or safe zones in tag, which I always use the tree.
Oh, okay.
The tree
Yeah.
was always the
Oh,
safe.
always. It was either like the tree or the monkey bars,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remember, for me growing up.
Yeah.
All right. Don't go to bed with your hair wet, you'll catch a cold.
Mhm.
This myth supposedly has origins from around World War I, but also I can so believe people believing this myth for forever,
Yeah.
in all honesty. And like the latter superstition, it has its origins in practicality. Many believed that going to bed with wet hair would lead to illness. Cold drafts in homes without central heating could lead to the person with wet hair to get cold in their sleep and not have a restful night, therefore leading to an actual illness. However, it's not actually a correlation or anything. However, while it might not exactly give you a cold, going to bed with wet hair could give you a fungal infection in your scalp. So,
I did not know that.
yeah, other thing. Now, granted, I will say, like, I know a lot of people who, like, they bathe at night and shower
Yeah,
at
yeah.
night, and, like, their hair and their scalps are fine.
Like, what
But
kind of
this is
freaking scratching are you doing with that shampoo that you, like, open?
Yeah. Well, and also, like, are you not washing out the shampoo and conditioner? Like, what's going on,
What's
people?
going on?
What are you
Maybe
doing?
we should do an
So-
episode on how to shower. Maybe that.
Welcome to the Story Sirens Hygiene episode.
All
Scrub it up,
right. Let's go to the Pacific because technically not considered North America.
Correct.
In Hawaii, the volcano and fire goddess Pele views the sand and stone of the islands as her children. Taking a rock from the island as a cool souvenir is believed to incite her anger, and Pele will curse the thief for daring to steal from her. And
All right. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say she's a volcano and fire goddess. I don't want her mad.
we don't.
Do not want her mad.
We don't want her mad. Sorry, my cat was inside my booth and said,
I was going to say,
I wanna
the
get
cat
out.
give up?
Yeah. So she heard me talk about black cats and she got upset.
Right.
So there's back to Pele real quick. There's some serious evidence that her curse is real. The Hawaii Volcano National Park frequently receives packages containing rocks stolen by tourists, accompanied by letters of apology from the thieves.
Oh.
Common curses from Pele include relationships failing, the loss of a loved one, the loss of pets, and the general loss of good luck. But also, I will say this. Don't take stuff from other countries unless it's coming from a
Right.
gift shop. That's why they're
Right.
gift shops.
Yeah. That's why there's gift shops.
Yeah.
Like,
Come on
stop.
now.
Yeah. Stop stealing the natural
For
resources.
God's sake.
Okay, in the Caribbean, as well as several other cultures, it's believed that itchy palms mean good luck is coming or money is coming. It's believed that if your hands itch, then good luck is on your way. If your right hand is itchy, you are likely to receive money soon. If your left hand itches, you are likely going to be spending or giving money to a good cause soon. Hopefully. Sometimes the left hand itching can just mean that you're going to be losing money soon. It's advised not to scratch the itchy hand, as that would scratch away the good luck. Still, in other Caribbean and African cultures, the left hand itching sometimes mean that the ancestors are looking upon the person with great favor.
Oh.
Now, the belief of itchy palms and the correlation with money also exists in Hindu superstitions. Traditionally, the left palm is associated with the departure of the Hindu goddess Lakshmi, who is believed to bring wealth, fertility, and prosperity. The right hand is associated with her presence, so that could possibly explain the superstition of the respective itches on those hands.
Agreed. There is also a superstition that, at least like we say in Cuban, which is kind of Caribbean. Yeah, we are in the Caribbean. If your breasts are itchy, you gonna make some money. So anytime my tatas scratch, I'm like, yes, bring me the $20, bring me the Benjamins. No Benjamin has arrived at my door after scratching my titty, though, so I don't know.
You're scratching away the good luck.
Dang it.
Stop it.
There you go. Now, one that we have from Trinidad, which one of our friends, Darren and Mina, sent to us. Thank you so much. Don't point at a cemetery. Listen, guys, mocking and disrespecting the dead is a big no-no, as you know from all our episodes. I think that's like
Have we not established this already?
Yeah, we've established this. Should you find yourself pointing at a cemetery, to counteract the bad luck, you must bite all your 10 fingers. But it doesn't end there. If you've been to a funeral, don't wear the same clothes to enter your house. And this is because by pointing, wearing the same clothes, or even entering a house incorrectly, apparently you're supposed to walk in backwards, would mean that a spirit of the deceased may follow you home. But honestly, look, just don't point, okay? It's not nice. Don't point.
I was going to say, it's rude to point at the living, so it makes sense that it's rude to point at the dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I was, just as an aside, I was at the farmer's market with my mother-in-law, and she saw, like, a very cute child and pointed at them immediately. And right as the dad turned, he saw her pointing, and you could see him go, like, what are you looking at? And I was like, yes, very cute baby, as I'm, like, swatting my mother-in-law's hand. She just, she wasn't really thinking about it. She was just like, oh, look at the baby. I was like, yes, stop.
Yeah, pointing, no good, no good, no good at pointing. All right, Sarah, let's move into Latin America.
Wonderful. Eating 12 grapes on New Year's Eve brings good luck, which I actually learned this one from you.
Oh, yes, you did.
This is Spanish and Latin America.
Yeah.
Known as las 12 uvas de suerte, many Latin families eat 12 grapes and make 12 wishes on New Year's. The 12 symbolizing the months in a year. Yenny, I did my best.
I know, I'm so proud of you.
I did pretty well, especially since I will say I swap my Spanish and my Italian accents a lot. So, like, I want to say the C's differently. I'm like, oh, wait, no, that's not right. That's not right. Okay, so anyway. Yeah, thank you. Little white girl trying. There's speculations this may have been something done to mock the upper-class Spanish citizens back in the 1880s, and it was the middle class doing the mocking. Upper-class individuals would try to be like the French and drink champagne and eat grapes. So we can so picture the middle class going, look at me with my grapes that just come from,
my backyard.
Our own vineyards, my own backyard. But now I am like the hoity-toity French.
Yes, exactly. Now, sweeping someone's feet means that they won't get married in both Latin American and African cultures.
Okay, that's just rude.
Yes, sweeping someone's feet would bring about bad luck, specifically not being able to get married. Fear not, though. If your feet were swept on, just spit on the broom or touch it, which
okay.
Don't spit. Just touch it.
Well, and I was like, touching it kind of feels like knock on wood again.
Yeah. Like, let's just knock on the broomstick. Let's not spit on it, because then now you got to bring out the mop.
Okay. All right. If you pee somewhere out in the open, make sure to say, excuse me, Latin America and Asia, which, I mean, again, that just kind of seems polite. Spirits and supernatural creatures may not be seen by the naked eye, but it doesn't mean they're not there. Specifically for the gentlemen out there, make sure if you need to relieve yourself outside in the wilderness and not in a toilet, this is for number one only, you say, excuse me.
Yes.
Why? Well, you may just be peeing on a ghost.
And that wouldn't be good.
By asking for permission or excusing yourself, you are letting the spirit or supernatural being know what you're about to do, which would give them time to move away before getting a little golden shower from the land of the living.
There you go. I also love that I somehow end up with this as the first superstition in Europe. Going into Europe, you must make eye contact during a toast, and this is from Germany. According to Germany superstitions, failure to maintain eye contact during a toast means 7 years of bad sex. So we're not going to do that.
That's serious.
That is serious. Look at me, Sarah.
Make eye contact, people.
This superstition dates back to the medieval period, of course. Supposedly, the Vikings of the 8th to 11th centuries would maintain eye contact while making toast so as to ensure the person they were drinking with would not draw a weapon.
I mean, fair.
It was a means to establish trust, and why not? Mm-hmm. Another
Yeah.
theory from this time period is that you could in general trust someone who watched you while toasting, as a poisoner would likely watch the cup containing the poison instead of the victim. I see that. Oh, also, the word toast dates back to Elizabethan England. Seasoned and toasted bread would often be added to beverages to counteract the bitter taste of the beverage. There's even reference to this in Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor.
And on the flip side, since this is a German myth, the German toasting phrase Prost comes from the Latin prosit, meaning to your health.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you can trust the person who's saying that for sure.
Yes, and trust that you'll have good sex.
All right, so putting your bag on the ground means money will jump out of it. This comes to us from Poland. Unless you'd like financial misfortune, it's best to keep your bag hooked somewhere or on your shoulder. Do not, by any means, place it on the ground. Doing so will ensure you lose your hard-earned money.
Yeah.
And a lot of this just comes from, kind of, again, one of those practical beliefs of if you just put something on the floor, it probably means you don't care about it.
Yeah, and also
It's kind of sloppy.
this is seen a lot in Hispanic culture because I know about this too, yeah. So, yellow flowers are actually unlucky in Russia. Now,
Aww.
when you're in Russia, do not send or give anyone yellow flowers, for those bright petals bring misfortune to the receiver. In Russia, the yellow flower symbolizes betrayal, like infidelity, breakups, and even death. While perhaps a yellow flower within a colorful bouquet may not be an issue, it can still be misinterpreted, especially if given to a partner. Also, gifting an even number of flowers is a no-no, as this is a practice done when sending flowers to a funeral.
Oh, so like even numbers for grieving and odd numbers for like happy things?
Shit, I don't know. I ain't Russian.
Okay.
But we're gonna say that maybe that's true. Yeah, that might be it.
All right. In Asia, 4 is unlucky. It means death in China. In Cantonese, the number 4 is sei, which sounds very similar to the word sei, which means death. If you get a bill with these numbers or receive money with this number on it, many will ask you to change the amount or pay a higher tip on a check to ensure that there are no 4s.
Oh, yeah, we've had this happen all the time when we're out. If we get like $44, Alex will like put like something different. 4
He's
is
like,
a
no,
no-no.
I'm not doing it.
It's a no-no.
Wow.
Speaking of no-nos, bouncing your leg means losing money both in China
Oh,
and
no.
Indonesia. Yeah. Shaking one's leg in front of others is also a sign of disrespect because you are shaking away your health and good fortune as well as those around you.
Oh, so it doesn't just affect you, it affects
yeah.
everybody. Oh, that's terrible. Another superstition from China is don't buy someone clocks. Clocks or even watches should never be gifted, for you are letting the person know their time is running out or are giving them an end. This is a particularly bad omen in Chinese culture, but it is also viewed in other cultures the same way. Both in Mandarin and Cantonese, the phrase to gift a clock sounds very similar to the phrase sending someone to their death. So, yeah, you can see how that might be bad.
Yeah.
Maybe not a good gift idea. The only way to counteract this unfortunate gift is to give the receiver money as well, which, double gift? Thanks.
A lot of this
I'll take it.
is because of the tonal, it sounds
the tonal
very,
nature of the language.
So, for example, we already know that say means death. So probably to give to clock might have the same say, but it's like a different tonal. There's 8 phonetical tones, I believe.
The tones are tricky.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Like sometimes I'm listening to my in-laws speak and I try, most of the times I know what they're saying, but sometimes it's difficult because words sound exactly the same. But there is like a little shift, either going up or down. That's just crazy. Now, tucking thumbs into your hands at a cemetery in Japan is definitely a good thing to do. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Now, in Japan, tucking your thumbs while visiting the cemetery is a way to ward off spirits from following and harming you and your family. Additionally, tucking your thumb into your hand and sticking it in your pocket protects your parents from death and misfortune. So tuck those thumbs in.
Oh, yeah. Tuck them.
Tuck them in.
All right. And for our last bonus superstition of this episode, we're going to do a classic theater superstition.
Yeah.
Let's discuss the Scottish play. And we received this one from Erica Sanderson, who said that she saw an entire set collapse during a rehearsal after the actors were mocking this belief.
Oh.
And from my personal experience, I watched an actor who, during a performance of an entirely different play, jumped and fell through the stage trap door that was supposed to be locked shortly after he had mocked this curse.
What?
So, yeah. So, in the world of theater, it is well known that you should never say the name of one of Shakespeare's greatest tragedies within the walls of the playhouse. But why can't we say Macbeth in the theater, but we can in our sound studios? Instead, we call it the Scottish play inside the theater. King James VI was pretty much obsessed with witchcraft and the occult. In 1589, as he was sailing from Denmark to Scotland, his ship sailed into a vicious storm and the king almost drowned in it. He blamed the storm on witchcraft and demanded witch hunts to begin as soon as he landed in Scotland. There's more history there, but we're trying to keep this succinct.
Bruh.
Yeah. Now, King James VI became King James I of England in 1603, and the nation, of course, was eager to please him. Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus was published a year later, and the kingdom was in an uproar over the occult, witchcraft, and devil worship. Remember covering that story in our Deals with the Devil episode? Yeah. It was not as much fun in Europe as it was for that episode.
No.
Now, Shakespeare published Macbeth in 1606, just 3 years after James became James I of England. And the play even made mention to the king's perilous sea voyage within the play and supposedly used real incantations from real practitioners of magic.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Suspected witches objected to this, and Shakespeare was urged to reconsider publishing the play with real incantations in it. When Shakespeare refused to edit his work, it was believed that a real coven of witches cast a curse on the play. And the curse seemed to work, as 2 actors died during the play's very first performance in 1606. Since then, the play has led to riots, murders, injuries, and a multitude of mysterious accidents. It was also believed that any theater performing Macbeth might actually be facing financial troubles. Macbeth, a popular play, has always been an income generator, so that would start the rumor mill flying if all of a sudden, without much more announcement, a theater was doing Macbeth. But on the flip side, some theaters have bankrupted themselves with elaborate set and costume productions for the sake of the play. So, how can you avoid the curse? Because again, even if you're just doing your own play and you happen to say Macbeth by accident, curse is activated.
Yeah.
How to avoid this? You should leave the theater, spin 3 times, spit, and then knock on the theater door to be let back in.
Lord Jesus. That's too much.
Yeah, right?
That's too
right.
much. Let's try to not do that. But
Okay.
Anywho, modern media. There is a plethora of films based on superstitions from around the world, and we're pretty sure the list is never ending. Here's
just
a few...
like the superstitions themselves.
Oh, for sure. Here's a few movies and books to check out, starting with Disney's Holes, because it's all about superstition and the breaking of promises, plus the curses that, come from doing so.
Yeah, kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Drag Me to Hell is not only an effective horror movie, but it also deals with several superstitious themes.
Which also the main character of that film, I forgot his name, but he does Herbie Fully Loaded. He's so cute.
I'm going to trust you on this because I have never seen this because I am a horror movie chicken.
What's the craziest thing? I saw this in theaters, and I saw it because of the actor. I need to know his name because I was like, oh my God, he's so cute. Justin Long.
Moving on.
Justin Long.
Moving on.
Lord. Yeah, well, Justin Long, real quick, great guy. Does Herbie Fully Loaded and then gets dragged into hell. So there's that. The Omen is another horror film that deals with ominous prophecies.
The Grudge, yet another horror film. Do you see the pattern yet? Takes some Japanese superstitions and brings them to the big screen.
That shit freaked me out. I cannot hear like a without thinking of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The plot of the book, The Night Tiger by Yang Zhe Chu, revolves around two very powerful Chinese superstitions.
Donna Tartt's The Secret History deals with academics and their associated superstitions.
Ooh. The Golem and the Genie takes cultural superstitions and mythologies and transplants them into 19th century New York City.
And basically, any Dan Brown book you read has multiple themes of superstition, be it religious or cultural. And, some people think he's an absolutely amazing writer.
I wrote that. I do think he's an amazing writer.
And then, follow Robert Langdon in all of his adventures, starting with Angels and Demons. Plus, Robert's adventures continue in The Secret of Secrets, which I think just came out recently.
It did,
right?
2025.
Yeah, cool.
Yes. All right.
So, again, all sorts of superstitious elements in Dan Brown books.
Yeah. Now, let's rock and roll into our siren call. We told you this was going to be a short episode.
Yep.
We did. Did we miss a superstition that you'd love to hear about? Well, guess what?
We know we did. Please tell us.
Yeah, please. We know. Leave us comments or join our Discord community and let us know, because this definitely won't be our last superstition episode. Nope, not at all.
There are countless superstitions around the world. In fact, I call this a mini-series, but this might be the never-ending mini-series.
A biggie series.
What have I done? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. All right, that's all for now, folks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Story Sirens. You can follow us on Instagram at Story Sirens Podcast. Want to support us? Send us a cup of Ko-fi by searching ko-fi.com/storysirens. We've got lots of treats for those who become siren seekers. All research materials can be found in the episode summary. Music by Donald Guzzi and artwork by Alexis Torres. Story Sirens is a Feather and Fin production. See you soon.